Hi everyone, Matt Hetherington from MHTableTennis.com here, and today is the 30th and final day of this block of 30 table tennis coaching tutorials that I've been doing. It's been a lot of hard work, but I've had some good feedback and a lot of questions and discussions going on about different aspects of the game that I've been part of with different people who've reached out to me, which has been really good. I am planning, of course, to think about how I'm going to do this onto the next level. I feel like, again, I've set some good foundations and basics through these 30 videos and some of the ones before, so definitely we'll be looking to try and take it to the next tier and see how I can layer onto the top of some of the videos and topics that I already covered in terms of more development, intermediate, and maybe some even advanced training methods or different strokes. And so today, in my last video of this block, I wanted to talk a little bit more about multi-ball and multi-ball training and why it's important that you should be doing some multi-ball training, and particularly now, I feel coming back from this quarantine time, I think multi-ball is going to be a really important tool for getting back to your timing and your touch and your movement. I think it's going to help speed up that process. And so far, from the couple of lessons that I've taught with players who haven't played for 3 months, I've been using more multi-ball than I would usually, maybe like 50-50 in the lessons or even 60-40, but I've definitely been using more multi-ball than I usually would, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's look at some reasons why multi-ball training is good for you, why it's different from single ball training. Multi-ball is good because there is a lot of repetition, and it's very good for focusing on footwork movements, technical aspects of your game, and sequences. The repetition aspect of multi-ball is really good. Also, you can really push the boundaries of your physical capabilities and your technical consistency because you're repeating the same things over and over again, and regardless of whether you miss, you still continue doing the drill. So, you might play with a training partner and get through one set of a drill, or maybe if you're doing topspin 3 or 4 sets. With multi-ball, you can go through a whole box, and it helps raise your physical capacity to keep up with that high energy, high intensity training, and that really helps a lot with matches. Another great thing about multi-ball is that you can increase the pace more and the frequency more than a normal table tennis scenario. So blocking from a training partner or dealing with match play points up to a certain pace, but through multi-ball you can really increase the frequency of the feeding and the speed of the feeding, and it really helps you with your anticipation, the quickness of your movement, your reflexes, and you can push yourself. You can really push yourself in those different areas. Another good aspect of multi-ball is the short recovery times. So you can really do short burst sequences followed by a very small recovery and then straight back into it. So let's say you do maybe one short push, one flick on the next ball, one long backhand and one forehand to finish it, you have a very small space of time to reset, and then you start again. So this also really helps with your ability to recover quickly and to maintain those high energy, high intensity bursts with those tiny recovery periods between them. Whereas sometimes if you're playing with a single ball partner, you have to go and pick up the ball. Maybe you're toweling down between points. With multi-ball, there's certainly very much a lot of focus, and you can go through a whole box in those short bursts of intensity recovery in those sequence patterns. So particularly now that everyone's coming out of quarantine, some places are ending their lockdown phases or their stay-at-home orders, it is a good chance to use multi-ball to help with your recovery and to get your timing back. When you've been out of the sport for quite a while and you've been out of practice, you need repetition, and you need to do a lot of reps of similar strokes over and over again. Get your movements going, shake off the rust. And I really think with multi-ball, you can get a lot more repetitions out of your time than just using single ball training. Also, a lot of players that haven't been in the club or in their training centers haven't quite kept up with their physical regime, or perhaps they've been doing exercise like cycling or long distance runnings like slow jogs, which is good for building some stamina and keeping fit with cardio, but it doesn't have that high intensity that table tennis has. So I found that a lot of them are quite less physically capable of doing this high intensity kind of work, and also the footwork's a little bit slow. So using multi-ball and also speed training footwork exercises really has been the bread and butter of how I'm starting off those students as they come back to the club. So that's my last topic in this block of 30, why you should think about adding more multi-ball training to your current practice regime, or if you're not doing any at all, some good reasons why you should start doing some. Multi-ball, I found, made a huge difference for me when I went to China and the days were cut in half. Half of the day you were doing multi-ball training, half the day was table drills, and doing that 50% of each training session or each day was multi-ball really made big differences for me in terms of my physical fitness, my technical abilities, my ability to play at high intensity and recover. So all of those areas that I spoke about really improved after 2, 3, 4 weeks. So certainly from my point of view, doing more multi-ball is definitely helpful. And yes, I recommend those players that are coming out of quarantine, get the multi-ball in there. It's going to help you speed up that recovery process and hopefully get you back to where you need to be. And for those of you who are returning to your clubs, stay safe, and I'm happy that you have this opportunity to get back to the table. And hopefully while you've been away from the table, these videos have helped you get your table tennis fix and maybe pick up some things that you need to work on. For those of you who are not ready to get back into the club yet, I have my fingers crossed for you, and I hope that things come right soon and that we can all get back out onto the table. But thank you guys so much for joining me for these 30 videos. I am going to take a small break because it's been quite exhausting doing 3 to 4 hours of filming and editing each day without having a day off. But I will keep you guys in the loop, and I'll be back very soon.